So this right here is a Razer Viper V3 Pro. Um, it comes in at 54 grams, which in today's day and age isn't necessarily light for a mouse because we have things now like the Beast Mini, who is extremely light, as you could tell. It's like half the size of this, but it's not heavy enough to where it feels like there's a brick sitting in your hands, which is obviously good. I am starting to like a little bit of more weight to my mouse because I kind of like to feel like I'm holding something. Um, and so the Viper V3, it that 54 weight, I think the lowest I would go nowadays and be comfortable with would be like a 45-gram mouse. Um, it has optical switches Gen 3, which I mean, these are perfect. The clicks to this mouse are incredible. Um, it has 95 hours of battery life, which is also incredible. This is the dongle for it. It goes to 8K, which I mean, I don't really recommend playing 8K in any game. It kind of just kills the battery, and honestly, you don't really feel anything past 2K polling rate. But let me talk about this mouse right now. Like, this is the best shape for people who are claw grip like me. I also used fingertip grip for a while. Extremely comfortable with this mouse. The Viper V3 so far has made it extremely difficult to switch off of to go to a G Pro or a HitScan Hyperlight or back to the Beast Mini or one of the Lamzus I have. The Viper V3 right now has the crown, in my opinion, for the best mouse that I've ever used. This thing is it's comfortable in your hand. I have the white version, so I can't talk about the coating for the black, but the white version is I don't have any slipping issues, which I actually have had on the G Pro Superlight 2 and on the original G Pro. But the Viper V3 is this is an amazing mouse. Now, these are not the stock skates. These are, I believe they are called ice. I'm using ice skates for this mainly because now this is the one critique I will have of the mouse. I bought a Wallhack SP004 glass mouse pad to try out, and the stock skates for the Viper V3 were extremely scratchy to the point where I could not use the glass pad. Now I am back on the Artisan. This is not a glass pad. I am back on an Artisan pad, so that like complaint is very niche to people who have glass mouse pads. But I tried dots, and it was dot skates that came with the mouse pad, and it was still a little scratchy. And since I've switched to these, it feels extremely smooth. Tracking scenarios and aim labs is extremely easy with this. Flicking in games with this mouse, extremely like very controlled. It's an amazing mouse. I This, in my opinion, is an S tier mouse in a world where there's not a lot of S tier mice that can compete with it. I've tried the Endgame Gear OP1. I've tried the G Pro Superlight 2. I've tried the Zowie U2. I've tried Lamzu Thorn and Atlantis. I've tried the Beastex. I've tried all these mice, and this right now is making it extremely hard for me to switch off of. And it's kind of ironic because in the beginning, when I first bought this mouse, I hated it. I hated the shape. I felt like I could never get frags with it. I feel like I would always whiff with it, and I stopped using it until one of my friends talked me into using it again. And since then, this has been like a couple weeks now, I can't switch off of this mouse. I switched to the G Pro Superlight 2 on stream, and because one of my friends was thinking about getting it, and I literally said, get the Viper V3 instead. I used it for a Valorant game. Now, I play good? Yes. Did the mouse really affect me negatively? Uh, Negatively? No, it didn't. But the thing is, right after that game, I put this back to the side and I plugged this one right back in. This is the best mouse. I highly recommend whatever. I don't care what game you guys play, whether it's the finals, Valorant, CS:GO, um, Tarkov, anything. I would recommend this. Fortnite, the side buttons, which I started playing Fortnite a little bit again. Um, and I use the side buttons to build. The side buttons in this I like a lot more than the Superlight 2. I don't like how these sink into the mouse. That is a critique that I have of this mouse. And you know, Viper or Razer killed it with the Viper because these feel extremely smooth, and you know they release early and they release good. Same thing with the clicks. The switches are very good. Ooh, just change that back. The switches are very good. Scroll wheel never had any problems. The scroll wheel for this I've also never had really any problems with either. The clicks don't feel muddy. They don't feel stuck. They feel great. I've had this mouse for some months now, and it was honestly just sitting collecting dust, and it's like it's brand new. It's like I've never used it before, and I cannot talk about how great this mouse is. Razer killed it with this mouse, and I it's made it, you know, it's not a very big competition in the peripheral world right now because of this guy. Um, I do want to try the Death Adder V4, which is basically the same thing, upgraded sensor but an ergo shape, because I am a claw grip and I do think I'd benefit from an ergo shape a little bit more. But shape as is right now, I still love this mouse. And if you are in the market to buy a new gaming mouse, the Viper V3 should be your pick, no matter what grip style you have. I can't really speak on palm grip that well because I don't play like this. So I'm going to assume that the G Pro is probably the one that's, you know, more chosen for palm grip, just based off of the hump and the build. But everything else, the Viper V3 is just the best mouse. There's a reason why like an insane amount of Valorant pros are using the Viper V3. It's it's on the come up in CS2 pros. Like Nico switched to this. Um, there's just so many pros about this mouse that has people switching to it compared to the G Pro Superlight 2, compared to your Beast X of the world. This mouse is just undefeated, and I highly recommend it.